Hello accounts people, time to have a look at trial balances. So the trial balance is the first main checking step on a double entry system, and to do it we need the brought down or forward balances on our ledger accounts. We'll use it to check the mathematical balancing on our accounts, in particular whether our debits equal our credits, although of course as you'll find out later this doesn't mean all errors are spotted. Typing wrongly, in other words an error of transposition, into the trial balance will show up as well, but of course remember this is our typing that's wrong, not our ledger accounts. It applies to main or general ledger accounts only, so we're not including sales ledger or purchases ledger accounts, in other words not the individual accounts of our customers and suppliers. These will be reconciled with our control accounts in bookkeeping and controls units. We can draw up our trial balance at any time, and we should be using it on a regular basis for manual systems. However, if you're setting up a company on Sage or something like that for the first time, we'll have a look at the trial balance there. And also on the computer system, if there's been a power cut or data corruption, the first thing we'll probably have a look at is the trial balance to help us spot what went wrong and what's been deleted or altered. At level 3, we'll take the trial balance as you see it now and develop it further. We're going to add in end of year adjustments and corrections in the next two columns, and then decide from there whether it goes into the profit or loss or statement of financial position, in other words our two main financial statements. Then we calculate our profits using what is now an extended trial balance, and from that we can draw up our end of year accounts. So if you want to, on my main YouTube channel that's level 3 and level 4 work, you can have a look at the ETB and any other appropriate accounts and videos. So this is our trial balance that we're going to have a look at. We've got the amounts in, they're the brought down balances, there's the total. So these debits and credits should be half of that. I've also put that one in there because that will show up any differences without having to press buttons on a calculator. So we've got most of the common items and also the error prone items in here, and what I've already done is decide whether some of the items are expenses, assets or liabilities or capital. What will happen is those are the only categories we really have. Assets and expenses are debit entries, income, revenue and liabilities and capital are normally credit entries. However, there are some capital, in other words the drawings, that goes on the debit side. That's the owner taking out their own capital, so we'll put these in as we get to them. But this one's a nice easy, it's got admin expenses, so no surprise that's an expense account. At risk of making typos, I'm going to type them in one by one. But if I do make a typo, or if it doesn't add up, it means that our trial balance is doing its job. So it's not a disaster, it's a useful error. So expenses and assets are debits, liabilities and capital and income credit. Very big income for a sole trader. I really think they should be advised to turn into a limited company. So discount allowed, that's an expense. If we let a customer off some money because they pay us quickly, it costs us, we're not getting the full amount of our sale. And likewise, this is income but not revenue to be precise, because it's a reward for paying our suppliers quickly. So this is the one that, strictly speaking, is a capital, but it's actually a debit entry. It's the owner taking out their capital. Now this one I'll put in separately. This is a frequent error. Insurance, nothing to do with third party liability on cars. It's a bill. Companies pay insurance. Opening inventory, another one that causes arguments, but actually as far as we're concerned in the current year it's an expense, not an asset. It was an asset at the end of last year, but this year we're using it, it's this year's expense. So of the two control accounts, the purchase ledger and sales ledger, payables and receivables, this is the one that's easy to remember. We owe money to our supplier or suppliers. Nearly managed to demonstrate what happens when you get a typo in there. This one, arguable, is it a liability, is it an expense? Well, actually it's a reversal of an expense, so strictly speaking it's an expense account, but it breaks the rules. It's a credit entry because this is our purchases. That's our returns. So this one, the other control account, easy to explain. This one and this one, sometimes just think of it as the difference. So rent and rates. Sales are credits, returns are debits. Therefore, is it an expense? Is it income? Well, strictly speaking, it's an income account. It belongs in the income section of a profit or loss account, or the revenue section of profit or loss account. So this one can go either side. Bank balance is an asset but can be overdrawn. HMRC can also go the other side. In this case, we owe money. It's clear, it says owed to HMRC, so it's a liability. But there are occasions where we get a refund from HMRC, in which case it's a debit entry, it becomes an asset. There we are, perfectly balanced. So I'd better make some mistakes as I haven't made any. So let's have a common one. Let's see what happens. Imagine I've got that 300 on the wrong side, and look at what happens. The difference is double. That of course only applies if one item is the wrong side. If it was a combination of more than one item the wrong side, that rule won't work. But you can try that first. Then there's typos. Again, multiple typos are hard to pick up. But if I did, let's have a look, 5 and 7. We're a little bit out there. Hang on, it shouldn't have been that much out. Hang on. Oh, I hadn't put the 300 back in, that's why. Now we're back to 0. Just shows what can happen. 5, 7, the difference is 18. If you know your 9 times table, you'll soon see this. That's another one, 2 numbers the wrong way round. 27. Can I find one at 36? Probably not, so I'll do this one. So, still 2 numbers the wrong way round, 0 and 3, 0 and 3, 270. $180. So if you're good at your 9 times table, if it's only one error, 2 numbers the wrong way around, the difference is divisible by 9. It doesn't work though for multiple errors. Try that first. Go back to this column, just double check, have I really read everything correctly? Have I read that the bank is a debit balance or a credit balance if it's overdrawn? Have I checked the VAT? Have I got the control accounts the right way around? And hopefully you'll solve the problems. It's a mixture of learning which way round they go and logic accounting understanding to get these very valuable marks in an exam correctly, but also the basis of a lot of further development in accounts work at later stages in your AAT course.